Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangout on 3D Thursday. I'm Noe Ruiz, a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, the creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to bring 3D printing projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics, combine them together and make cool, movable projects.
We make
to
a
inspire
nice,
you guys.
Make a nice, yummy circuit sandwich every week.
Every week. We're trying to... Okay, how about we do the segments?
Do this again, because my hair is all messed up.
No, we got to keep going, man. We can't. This is live. So we're
every week we start off with some awesome segments for you guys. We start off with what are you prototyping? It's when we take a look at some of the behind the scenes of upcoming projects for future episodes. That's right.
This week we got some cool stuff. I'm really looking forward to this one. And then we'll look at some 3D news.
That's right. Every week we scour the net for some interesting 3D printing stories to share with you guys.
Yeah, we mostly like to share your guys' projects from the community, handmade maker stuff. All right, and then after that, we'll answer your YouTube questions on a Q&A.
That's right. There's always a bunch of questions after each episode, and we have a ton of answers for you guys.
Oh, yeah. And then we have a weekly video, and then we'll end it off with our layer by layer segment. These are really fun ones. So,
let's go ahead and start off with
what are you prototyping?
Nah,
let's start off with this. Coupon code.
That's right.
Pocket Pi.
Celebrate the release of the third iteration.
It's out?
Of Pocket Pi.
I didn't get the memo.
Which is the awesome, cute little portable pocket Game Boy.
Game Boy girl.
Yeah, so you can get 10% off the entire order. We're going to be having kits for this soon. You can get all the parts individually if you want right now.
That's right.
Save 10%. Don't pay full price for all these awesome little components that you're going to need to build your very own Pocket Pi.
Okay. You want to jump into the prototype segment?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this week's prototype.
All right. This week, man, we got a really cool project, Pedro.
Yeah, so over the weekend, we made this very awesome little portable Qi charger with the PowerBoost 1000C, 2000 milliamp battery, little slide switch, and of course a little Qi compatible charger. So this will charge like the Moto 360, like some of the Nexus devices that have the wireless charging, and of course the Apple iWatch.
Oh wow, so this is a DIY Apple Watch charger. Pretty cool, there it is charging. So if you wanted to travel, you didn't have like a wall outlet, you could keep your watch nicely charged with this project. This is a very cool project. And this is one of our first sort of remixed projects.
Yeah, so someone on the Thingiverse actually posted a little version of this that was using the 5000C.
500C.
Or the 500C, sorry. Yeah. And then the slide switch and a smaller battery for actually a bigger battery that was about, I think it was the 2000 actually, but not from us. So it was like definitely bigger. It was like about twice the size of this. So I figured, oh, we can use the new components that we have in the shop and make it a lot more slimmer. So we have all of the source files available on Thingiverse. So you can customize this guy. One of the cool things that you can add is maybe attach to the little USB, a female USB that comes with this. So you can have this on the inside, have a little porthole in there.
So you can charge anything then.
Yeah, so you can charge non-wireless devices. So the design of the case is actually pretty cool. It has this little frame that just snaps into the bottom of the case here. So you can, sort of make like a Pyroni sort of style.
Oh, if you wanted like a rainbow, different colors.
Yeah, you can do like a Rasta sort of style.
Colors.
Of course, you can change out the mustache face to something else that you might like. The 2000 milliamp battery neatly tucks into here, and the wire goes through the back opening, so you can plug it into the PowerBoost that has cool little mounting standoffs on there. And you can also, like you said, use a PowerBoost 500C if you want to save the cost on that.
So tell me
like
about
20 bucks in parts.
Okay, that's awesome. 20 bucks in parts. Tell me about the wireless charger from Apple. This is actually the smallest Qi charger I've ever seen. All the circuitry is inside the little puck there.
Yeah, so we actually offer some Qi chargers in the store, but because of the size of the coil, I don't think that's why it's not working. So I'm sure all the Chinese manufacturers are reverse engineering whatever chip is in here that allows it to work on the Apple Watch.
$10 versions maybe?
Hopefully like $1 versions, yeah. Because I don't know, it's got to be just a coil and whatever chip
new
in there.
Though, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm glad that you sort of repurposed it and made it more usable. So that's pretty cool. You cut the thing off. You got the guide already built, and it's already up on Thingiverse. So.
Yeah, if you want to switch the
this looks awesome. There. So here's the remix, the original one from Guy Plunkett. And this is really cool. You also have the guide, so I want to show you. So the circuit diagram, this is really how, it's a pretty simple circuit. You just solder it, cut and solder it to
pretty standard USB pinout.
Okay.
And it's basically just shortening it in and plugging it into the USB is really what you're doing.
Oh, cool. You got the little bit of
yeah, so all the 123D
CAD
design files are on there, so you can edit the source files, add a different battery. You can actually make this way smaller if you use like a 500 milliamp battery.
Smaller and a little bit more cheaper, I think.
Yeah.
You save like 10 or 20 bucks if you make it smaller.
So it'll be back about half the size. That's actually what I wanted to do, just stack them all.
That's cool.
But it would have been a little bit more taller, smaller though. Very cool. It's using number 256 screws, so everything's nice and tiny, and it fits in your pocket for traveling, charging all your wireless devices.
Yeah, right on. Okay, very cool. If you folks want to pick that up, you can pick up the PowerBoost 1000C and the switch and anything else using coupon code PocketPie.
Use PocketPie during checkout. Only works on bits and atoms, so you can't get a discount on the software or the gift certificates. Okay. But everything else, 3D printers, filament, and of course components.
Of course. Okay, cool. Well, I'm really happy about this project. This is a really cool one. A lot of people who get the Apple Watch, maybe we can inspire them to make their own charger. It reminds me of a lot of like the Minty Boost. That's a really cool project.
God, yeah.
Very useful, very practical, and good way to learn electronics. So check it out, folks. Okay, so over the weekend I put together a pretty cool project. I'm a big fan of the MIDI Fighter from DJ Tech Tools. It's like that $500 custom-built MIDI controller. It uses arcade buttons. We have these 30mm arcade buttons that are really nice. They're translucent. And I was thinking, dude, it'd be really cool if we got LEDs in them. So I figured, how can I do that? So I took apart the button. It's actually really modular, and I didn't have to drill any holes or use any glue. So I put together a two-part diffuser that holds the NeoPixel mini PCB in place, and it just snaps into this little diffuser here. And this is a really cool way to get sort of light effects in your retro projects. So that's very cool. It's already up on Thingiverse. You can download it now. Apparently, a lot of people wanted to know how to do this thing, so this is really cool. One thing to note is like when I search around for like putting lights and stuff, I always see like the center of it blacked out. And now I know why. It's because the stock diffusers have these little stems, and when you have that stem that's merged or glued into the diffuser, when you put a light through it, it actually doesn't look so good. It totally kills the diffusion effect. So this is a really cool approach to use 3D printing to sort of make it look like it's not 3D printing, right? Because these buttons aren't 3D printed, but the stuff inside of it is what makes it really cool. And we also got this one, so if you wanted like a joystick. We also have different colored, but they're still opaque and translucent. So let's see what it looks like here. Very, very cool. Yeah, so if you're looking to add lighting effects to your arcade buttons, you can pick up some NeoPixel LEDs right now in the Adafruit shop. You can also pick up the joystick and
it's actually running a Bluefruit Easy Key inside there, so this is actually like a keyboard.
Yeah, it's wireless. So it's a really, really fun and easy project. So check that out.
Another cool thing you can also do is make little icons, sort of mask out the inner, inside of the button, so you can make, little custom keys and all that for it.
Yeah, if you wanted like A, B, or icons, definitely a cool way to do that.
A little drum pad, you can have all your clap and your like bass and all that stuff in there. So very cool.
Very fun. Again, it's on Thingiverse. The guide is already published on the Adafruit Learning System. And if you want to pick up some arcade buttons and the easy Bluefruit, you totally can. Don't pay full price. Get 10% off your order.
That's right. Use PocketPie during checkout. Get you 10% off. Expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. Only works on bits and atoms, not gift certificates or software.
Yeah. All right, that's going to be it, folks, for the prototyping segment. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the news segment. There's a lot of cool news stuff. This is like fun game news project Raspberry Pi.
Appropriately themed Pi because of the celebration release of the Pocket Pi. Let's go ahead and start it off with very cool Arcade Pi by Marcus Jin on Thingiverse.
Yeah, this is very, very cool. This is using a couple different components. Not a lot of documentation or instructions on this one yet, but I really like, this is a really interesting approach to the D-pad design. So I like using NinjaFlex for my buttons, so I have like a flat, flat surface. This is a cool way if you're using hard plastic, you can make like these little knobs and have a little rounded edge here so it rolls off and it doesn't squish and press all the buttons at the same time. Very, very cool, very easy to do. It looks like you could probably print it in 2 different pieces along that chamfer there.
Yeah, it looks like that's where he cut it, and then either use like little nubs to, you know,
oh, you could do that. Yeah.
snap together, or you can just glue it together.
Or
But
acetone.
very cool, little ingenious little way to create buttons without having to use a little flexible Ninja Flex.
Yeah, definitely. And some noticeable upgrades. There's an amplifier in there, and it's got a little sort of wheel for the potentiometer to change the volume. And you also got like a cool looking
A little speaker
nice
there.
speaker
It looks
that
like
looks a
you
little bit
can
bigger.
definitely bump some chiptune bass.
Chiptune
the
bass?
design of that.
Yeah. So using the cylindrical battery, and it looks like it's using the older Model B.
Yeah, looks like a
non-B class.
composite
Yeah.
in there.
And
A very cool
different
little
driver.
modular design, it looks like. You
Yeah.
snap fit that together, like the cool
Couple
little
screws.
pot there to adjust the volume. Very cool on and off.
So it's on Thingiverse. You can download it now.
Yeah, it's a work in work in
progress.
progress. So definitely be on the lookout for when Marcus is done with that.
Okay. Cool.
Next up, we have a case for the Pi TFT. This is designed by Benjamin Cooper, aka Crazy Monkey Ben.
Crazy Monkey Ben. This is a really cool project. Definitely one of the first projects you want to do if you're getting into Raspberry Pi.
It's the first thing you got to do if you get a printer.
Yeah.
You got to print this out, get Octopi in it. Very
Have your little
awesome
display.
first.
Yeah.
Sort of way to calibrate your printer.
Totally. Okay. Yeah, I like the little air vents and the little slits for the Pi cam, the ribbon cable. Very cool. Okay. Next up.
Got a Pocket Pi Boy Portable.
Man,
Really love the ergonomics of this.
Yeah.
I love how the design is pretty modular. You can change out the buttons for this. Did a lot of vapor bath smoothing, looks like, on this, a lot of painting. And this was designed by Josie 3i. Jozo 3i. And this was inspired by how do you say that?
Kasarabana.
Super Game Pi ISP.
Yeah, Super Game Pi SP.
And
of course the
your
DIY
DIY
Game
Game
Girl.
Girl.
Yeah, so this is a really cool one. One of the most robust, crazy hacks. The hardest part, he said, was getting this, wiring the wiring the HDMI cable. So if you want a slim HDMI cable, you can always just make your own.
Yeah, it's a cool way to do it.
Oh man, hardcore.
But you can see how he routed that through
Yeah.
inside the little small slim enclosure
using
there.
different components. So we got a different driver, which is just fine, and the Raspberry Pi B+, which is very cool and new. Different approach to sort of the brackets, the mounting brackets. So one really cool thing is he has built-in like little hinges, little door flaps.
This is like a dust cover.
Or a
Very
dust cover,
awesome little print-in-place little.
Oh man, yeah. You don't have to fit it in
hinges.
there. You just print it in place, and here's what they look like closed up. That's awesome.
Very awesome little addition to the design.
Oh yeah, man. And then of course you're talking about ergonomics. The way that the little handles they're customizable, so you can change out like whole chunks of controllers. So the controller has this nice little platform. It's modular. You can adjust it, and it's a good way to hold your buttons in place. Huh? There you go.
Nice little shot of how it elevates them, and of course he has custom
Button
buttons.
caps. Yeah, button caps. So you can print your own button caps in different colors. Here's sort of the main frame of it, and here it is sort of getting it ready, prepping it for finishing. We love processing and finishing, and a really cool way to I guess spray paint your part is to make your own custom rig, custom little jig thing. So he's got like a pole with like a little mount so that you don't have to touch the edges and stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I really love the design of that. It looks like a gunmetal powder.
It does.
paint.
It doesn't look 3D printed, and that's the coolest thing. Again, it's on Thingiverse. You can check it out now. I think there's some documentation on it too, so you can check that out.
Yeah.
Very, very cool project.
One of the cool design goals that he had while making this is that he wanted to have the least amount
As
of
few
visible
screws as possible.
Screws, yeah.
Only 4 screws in this one. Very cool.
Very cool little design challenge to have when you're first starting out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
very cool, Mr. Joe.
Jozo.
Check it out on Thingiverse.
Great work,
The
Jozo.
link is in the description to this video.
Okay, cool. Next up,
We have a U-Arcade, which is a
U-Arcade.
teeny tiny little palm-sized arcade cabinet.
so cool.
Runs Space Invaders.
Run Space Invaders? Okay, it looks like it's running on an Arduino and an OLED screen, and it looks like we're using a rotary encoder for the joystick.
Yeah,
Very cool.
so it's using an Arduino Pro Mini to fit inside the nice
Okay.
little tiny
Yeah.
enclosure there.
Yeah.
Prototyped on an Uno. Looks very cool, handheld.
Said
Said
the
that
scale of it, right? Scaled next to
Yeah.
a penny. That thing's super tiny. Yeah.
So he said that Space Invader was the only thing he was able to fit, which is
Yeah,
you know,
it's
the
like
game to
200K.
fit on there if you're limited on space.
Yeah.
So
Very
pretty
cool.
cool. Love the little rotary arcade joystick there.
Oh, yeah. Very fun. Very fun project. Okay.
Next up, we have a Pi case with a stand.
This is like, oh my god, this is like, this, you win for the most like modular, most photographed project. They have like 20 photographs to go through. So Pedro, tell us, what is this?
Yeah, so this is designed by Noe Abe. It's a Pi TFT 2.2, has a cylindrical LiPo. It works with a Pi A, B, 2.
Yeah,
you
all
can
of
attach a
them.
Pi camera onto it, so
This is the
works
most,
with almost everything.
Yeah, and it's, looks like we have it here in portrait mode and also landscape mode. So there's a lot of different ways to configure it. I really like this battery here. This is the cylindrical battery. It's being used as the hinge for the little stand, which is really cool. And it also has an enclosure for the Pi cam. So it's an all built in one unit. Very cool, very modular. So if you're looking for a Pi case that just has a bunch of options and expansion slots, this is the one for you.
I like how he sort of talks about how to assemble each
Yeah,
part
each-
depending on
yeah.
what components you want to use and how you want to use it.
Yeah, here's the little mounting brackets for the camera board holder. It even has access to the, so you don't have to take it apart. You have access to all the GPIO stuff here. Very, very cool. And I really like how he laid out his CAD files. So he has all the pieces laid out, and he has little labels for each one of them. So that's a real cool approach to lay out your work here.
This is very thought out, very organized. Really love the way that this project is being presented.
Setting an example for how to release and document your work, yeah?
Yeah, so it's super modular design. 1, 2, 3D files are available to tweak. You guys go check that out.
Yeah, check it out. An awesome work, Noe or Neo. Sorry
Noe
about your
Abe.
name. Very cool, though. Very good project.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that'll do it for this week's.
Yeah, that's it for this week's news, folks. You can find all the stories that we shared about in the links below. And also, we have more on the Adafruit blog, so if you want to check those out.
Definitely check that out. Subscribe so you can get notified each time new posts go up.
Of course. All right, let's go ahead and jump into some Q&A. This is where we answer your YouTube questions. All you got to do is answer or ask your questions in
Ask them on
in one
any of the videos.
videos.
We use the Studio app, so we'll eventually see it pop up.
Okay, so the first question is actually a group of questions. Quite a few people were asking a lot of the same question on our last week's video. Of course, it was on testing high-strength filaments for crashing quadcopters. Man.
Yeah, so everybody is asking NinjaFlex. What
NinjaFlex,
about
NinjaFlex,
SemiFlex or
NinjaFlex?
NinjaFlex?
Well-
yeah, we tried it. That was one of the materials we tried, but we just didn't have enough time to include it in the show because it was,
It was so bad, it didn't make sense. It was like,
So what the prop guards are holding on to are a metal smooth
You wanna show
motor. So NinjaFlex just slips right off, and because it's NinjaFlex, when it runs into a wall, it's just going to bend, and
Yeah.
exposing the prop. So
Yeah.
that didn't work
It doesn't
too
work
well.
We really needed a material that has sturdiness, rigidity. Okay, it can't be It can't be too flexible anyway, because that's why the
Yeah, 'cause
winner
it's
ended
gonna
up
flex
being
and
ABS,
bump
because
into
it
it.
has that bit of flex only when you get a shock it or
Yeah,
push
and
it
if
in.
you print it to 100%, you're gonna start weighing it down. So
Yeah, that's
one of the
another
reasons
thing.
why
You could print it at
that didn't work.
100%, but it would still not be as rigid. So we tried it, folks. It doesn't work so well.
Yeah, even if we change the
for this
design, it's
application.
still
Yeah.
like we said, it's gonna bend.
Yeah. So we did try it, and that's the sort of results that we got. So.
Don't
Okay.
worry, there is going to be a part 2. I think we tried the PCTPE.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
that works.
Yeah, we're going to try some more nylon and carbon fiber stuff.
Yeah,
so
so
be on the lookout. That's another question coming
look
up
out for that one.
Okay, next up. Whoops. 1 second, folks. Next up, the next question is from Philip. This is on the same video. What settings did you use for T-glass? I've heard of T-glaze.
I've heard T-glaze. I've heard both ways.
Yeah. Anyway, I've done a lot of work with the material, and it's my favorite for anything that requires strength. By the looks of it, it looks like you were printing slightly cold and way too fast. 230 to 240 for the temperature, depending on the hot end, and 5 to 15 millimeters a second for best results for strength and clarity. But it can be pushed to 25 and be printable. Otherwise, yay for ABS.
Yeah, so these are the exact settings that we
Yeah.
used. Anything different, it just didn't work.
It
We
doesn't
used a
work.
heated bed, 90C.
On the heated bed.
We even had to use a glue stick to keep
glue
the
stick.
print down.
And of course, 240 on the hot end.
Yeah, so
Printed it on Orion over here.
Yeah. So what we're thinking is that we have printed this before on bigger quadcopters like the Iris.
Yeah,
so
here it
this is the T-glaze right here, and this worked just fine. Although we did have to use those same settings We're thinking it's a size issue because we were printing something that was so small. I mean,
look at the size of
the propeller is bigger than the entire quadcopter. So we're thinking that size had to be the issue with there, because
also design. There's a beam in the center of it that holds the rigidity a little bit better. So
yeah, so there wasn't any weight restrictions on this because it's, it's such a big drone.
GoPros.
We had to consider that when we were designing for such a little one. We had to get rid of this as soon as we found out that the ABS didn't really require it. Yeah. So yeah, we used those settings. We were thinking it has to be a size issue because I'm thinking as you print smaller, it's it's not going to hold up as much. And yeah, those are the exact same settings we use.
There's also a possibility that this, we did this project about 6 months ago, and I'm thinking it could be that the spool's gotten a bit of moisture in it. I did hear some popping and things.
We did hear popping, but after we kept printing with it, it eventually stopped doing that. Yeah, but we have heard techniques on putting it in the oven so we can bake away the moisture. But again, we'll revisit this with other types of materials.
We kind of ran out of time to test we had to, Anyway, very good question. I'm glad T Glass or T Glaze is working out for your prints, Philip. So very, very cool. We're definitely going to test more stuff out from Tallman. They're the manufacturers of the material, and we definitely want to check out some of their nylon stuff like Bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for the question. Next up, question number 3. This is on the same video. Can I get the name of the quadcopter? It looks great. Thanks.
Yeah. So this is the Hubsan X4 107C.
107C.
C is for the camera, I'm guessing.
Yeah, right.
They have 2 models, one with, one without. This is
How much is it?
It's like $50-$40.
I think it's lower now because
there are a lot of Chinese clones that you can get. I'm guessing around $20, but this is the one that all the people in the Iris forums recommended for learning how to fly. Right. It's an excellent little quadcopter. Definitely feel more confident flying the bigger drones now. You can learn how to hover, do little tricks on this guy. The little batteries are pretty small, so you can get a bunch of these for a pretty cheap price.
Yeah. It was recommended to us from the lovely folks at the Iris community on their Facebook group. Yeah, if you want to learn, you want to get into quad, definitely the way is to learn with a smaller so you can crash it and get
definitely
the feel for
check out the YouTube channel Quadcopter 101.
Oh yeah, Quadcopter 101 is really fun.
They have a lot of the cool Chinese clones, or to get the cheapest ones. We just ordered a knockoff Phantom for like $100, so I'm gonna try that out.
Okay, all right, sneak peek. All right, well, thank you for the question. That's definitely a good one. It's a good quadcopter. Okay, next up, question number 4. Not sure what video this one is, but it's asking, can you do a video on how to do multicolor with a Type A machine Series 1?
Yeah, so we have seen Simplify 3D have tutorials and walkthroughs on how to modify your G-code, your stop and your start, so that you're able to switch out your filament. I've not seen photos of the parts that they tested or any video of that, so we're definitely going to have to take a closer look at this on how to set that up.
The answer is yes. We're going to do a video on how to sort of do that process, because I'd like to do it with just any slicer, really. Maybe we can take the sort of the start and end G code and sort of make it work with Cura and other free things, because a lot of people use different slicers, and it'd be nice to get to work with that. But it's not built into the firmware, right?
Like the MakerBots,
it's a way to do it. Yeah, the MakerBots just have it built into the firmware. I think other people do too, but. Yeah, there's a very cool.
We're on the task.
We're definitely going to try that out. Thank you for the question, David.
Next up.
Next up, question number 5. Again on the quadcopter video. Semiflex TPE filament, please. What is the shore hardness and usable print speed of this material? Couldn't find any info anywhere else. Thank you.
Yeah, totally. So if you go to ninjaflex3d.com, click on the product page, and then scroll down, you can see sort of like the data sheet of info for all that.
Here it is. Filament hardness of approximately 85A for NinjaFlex and 98A, which is 50D for the Semiflex. So shore thickness is something that we haven't really heard of yet. It's something more for manufacturing, but it's you can pull up on Google. You get a visual of what the different rates are, and I think you pulled up something.
Yeah. So the regular NinjaFlex is closer to say like a pencil eraser, which is around 70. And then the Semiflex is closer to that of a tire tread, which is closer to about 90.
It's a good visual.
Yeah.
Okay,
so if you check that out, the only thing I'm really familiar with is index of reflection.
Oh, really?
Refraction.
That's cool. But if you have any more specific questions, hit up NinjaFlex on their Twitter. They're actually, every day I see them with their little hashtag #AskNinjaFlex, and they're always looking for people to answer. They're always looking for questions. They want to help people out, so they're very active on Twitter, so check them out. They're also probably on other social medias too.
Yeah, the Twitter handle for that is, I think, NinjaFlex.
Yeah, at NinjaFlex3D, so check them out. But thank you for the question. Very cool. And next up, question number 6. This one is on the drone video. This is from Carrie asking, that carbon fiber filament is actually PLA mixed with chopped up carbon fibers, which is why it prints like PLA and it's brittle. Chopped up carbon adds a lot of stiffness, but not much toughness to the print. I'd like to see how carbon fiber ABS filament manages, not to mention carbon fiber nylon once it becomes available. Yeah,
so
us
the
too.
Carbon fiber ABS is the first one that I actually wanted to try out, but because of time restraints on getting the episodes out, it just didn't come in time yet. Yeah. So that is definitely one of the materials going to be in the part 2 of this sort of series on testing out weight and rigidity of materials for quadcopters.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. And like I was saying before, we definitely want to check out more nylon stuff from Tolman, so that's forthcoming as well. But thank you for the question. Very good one, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Well, was it a question? It wasn't even a question.
It was more of an observation, I think.
We'll answer your observations, too. Last question. This one's on printing with NinjaFlex video that we did a couple months ago. How do you modify your printer to print with NinjaFlex? Please help.
Yeah, so you didn't ask what sort of 3D printer. So we're going to think maybe the printer bots. They do have in beta a little extruder mount that you can print out. You have to buy the parts from them.
Oh,
it's in beta.
Tooth one?
Yeah, it has little gears that sort of ensure that the NinjaFlex doesn't buckle as it's being fed through.
That's the real #1 problem with 3D printing NinjaFlex.
Yeah, buckling. I saw on their Google Plus page that they're pretty close to finalizing the finished design. Okay. Doesn't include the gear heads anymore, so it's pretty much like a pinched little part near the bottom of where it gets fed in.
Oh, didn't Brooke actually do like a hardware hack? Like you just grabbed a pair of pliers?
Yeah, I grabbed a pair of pliers and sort of bent it back. You can search YouTube for that video,
okay.
And it printed out pretty good. So I'm guessing it's going to be something like that. The Type A machines have that already out of the box.
Yeah, that's part of the design. Is it just works really well. It has such a small little thing. It doesn't kink much.
Yeah, you have to have like a super close distance from the drive gear to the nozzle.
We've seen people. We've seen Barnacles, for example. He's printing on his Ulti machine, but he has system. Yeah, it's a Bowden system, but it's 3mm filament.
He's printing
diameter.
Like 10 to 20 millimeters a second.
A little bit slower.
Super slow, and the results aren't that great. For something like the Taz, you have to spend like almost $500 on
FlexiDually.
FlexiDually, the MakerBots. It's just like a spring-loaded,
a
little upgrade that you have to do.
Yeah, it just works well.
The Orions can only print the PC TPE, which isn't the NinjaFlex,
but it's still kind of flexible.
Yeah. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. They are pretty close. PrinterBot is pretty close to releasing that final design for printing in flexible filaments.
Okay.
Check that out.
That is going to be the last question, folks, and that's going to be it for the show, really. If you want your questions answered. All you got to do is ask them on YouTube. We'll gather them up for next week's show. Thank you guys again for watching, and thank you for asking the questions. We love answering them. We're going to leave you off with the weekly video in the very cool Layer by Layer. That's a Pi Girl, so stay tuned for that. But before we leave, let's go ahead and take a look at some links, and then the coupon code.
Yeah, so all of the projects live on learn.adafruit.com. They're released there even before the project videos and even sometimes some of the Thingiverse.
Yeah, those two projects we talked about in the prototype segment, they're already up, ready to
Yeah, you can go ahead and get the parts and go ahead and build along with us.
That's right. If you want to share your project with us, you can totally do so. We have a Google Plus page that you can check out, and we also have a weekly show and tell show that's live with everybody at the Adafruit. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. ET, yeah. And of course, every Thursday you can check out all the stories that we talked about on the blog, and even more that we have on the blog.
Don't forget the the links to all of the stories we talk about this week are in the description of this video.
Oh yeah.
You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Thingiverse for all the behind the scenes future projects we're all working on. Follow at Adafruit, at Ekin is Noe, and I am at NeoPixel.
Very cool. Okay, one last thing.
Pocket Buy, 10% off. Use code during checkout.
That's right.
Get all the lovely filament, 3D printers, and of course components that'll bring your projects to life.
That's right. Your purchases funds us, funds Lamar and Phil and everyone else in the team. We get to keep making very cool projects that inspire. So thank you so much. It really means a lot. And that's pretty much it, folks. We'll be here next week with more stuff. And until then, yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I think that's it, right?
See you.
All right, bye, guys.